Hello everybody, it's Vigilant Mike here. Today I bring you Super Mario Brothers for the NES. So this is the game that I consider that started it all, way back in 1985. Why do I say that? Well, this was the launch game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Why was the Nintendo Entertainment System important? Well, if you go to a little back, a few years, to the Atari 2600, it did pretty good for a while, but it was a very unregulated game market. A lot of cheap little games, a lot of rip-offs of other games, a lot of low-quality games, similar to the iOS game market of today, actually. And that drove people away from video games for a while. This game was able to introduce the Nintendo Entertainment System in a complex fashion. It demonstrated that games could be intricate. Many followed it, including The Legend of Zelda, Mega Man, Castlevania. I attribute this game to allowing games to stay from then until now, until the foreseeable future. So I don't think they're going anywhere. Alright, so we got through level 1-1. We're now in world 1-2, the first underground level of the game. There's some secrets in this level. Trying to find the Starman. There he is. I'm more concerned with the coins. Because I don't really get hit too easily. Not in this point in the game. Like, Starman could help here, but... right now we're Fire Mario because we took that Fire Flower upgrade. That gives us the ability to shoot fireballs, which is, I think, for most useful thing in this game for dealing with enemies, much better than just jumping on them, because sometimes you'll jump on those Goombas right there and you'll hit them in the eye, but it's not considered the top of their head, so you don't get to kill them. In fact, you get hit, because in this game enemies can touch Mario, but Mario can't touch enemies. Alright, so how am I playing this? I'm not actually playing the actual NES version. Right now I'm actually using the NES Classic Mini. I have the original NES version along with an actual NES. Just a pain to record off of it, so I chose the Mini. And I still get to use essentially the same controller, so that's nice. Alright, so this World 1-3 brings us to our first treetop level. That down there, I think it's just gonna be another fire flower, because that's what we got. So what we've seen is your standard brick road level, your underground level, and now our treetop, and we still got a couple more varieties to go. These enemies are called Koopas. This is the red variety. These will not walk off a ledge if they get too close to it, like that guy. See, he just turned around. If it was his green brother, he'd be walking off a ledge. Which kind of says to the difference between Mario and Luigi. Mario's gonna be smart enough to walk around. Luigi's gonna careen right off the ledge. Alright, so we're on the 4th level. There's 4 levels in the world. Every time it's gonna be like a castle-like area like this. They're more dangerous. We got these fire stakes here. Oh, I was hoping that wouldn't happen. I was trying to be fancy. We have Bowser, except it's not actually Bowser. If I still had the Fire Flower power-up, I'd be nuking him with fireballs, and after 8 or so hits, it'll show that's not actually Bowser, it's one of his goons disguised as Bowser. So I think in that level it's a Goomba, could be wrong, maybe a Koopa. Just let this hit us. There we go. Oh, I should mention, in this game, it's not like New Super Mario Brothers where, say you got Fire Mario, when you get hit, you revert to Super Mario, which is what we are now. Now, you go back to Tiny Mario, Yeah, watch out for that. Don't get hit by your own launched Koopa shell. But all is well. We're back to Fire Mario. So I'm trying to think. I believe in Super Mario Brothers 3, you get 2 hits instead of the one back to Tiny Mario. Like, say you're Fire Mario, you'll revert to Super Mario, and they get hit again, you'll revert to Tiny Mario. I don't know if there's an actual name for Tiny Mario, to be honest. I don't even know what Tiny Mario actually is. Because if you look in the 3D games, Mario... I don't know, I assume he's Super Mario, like, all the time. Like, say, in Sunshine. There's no power-up to make him big. He's that size the entire game. I should mention, these power-ups are completely optional. You could play the entire game as Tiny Mario if you want to challenge yourself, or you somehow miss every single upgrade. So the enemy that you just saw crawl up here is called a Piranha Plant. They could be kind of dangerous if you jump onto them in midair. Thing is, though, if you stand on top of the warp pipe like I am, or right next to it, they won't come out for some reason. You'd think they would, because that'd be probably the best tactic for taking out Mario, but they never take advantage of it. That was like the worst flagpole jump. Alright, now we reach World 2-2. I think this is another special level. Yep, if you could tell, because we're going to a warp point first. Alright, so these are our swimming levels. Most people dislike these. I can see why. They don't really fit nicely with the flow of the game. I think most people dislike them because of these... I forget what they're called, actually. We'll call them squids for now. So, like, those squids, they can kind of follow you in an irritating way. Like these cheapskates, I think they're called. They don't really get in the way, because they just go in that straight sort of bouncy line. But the squids will go like that. They'll go down and then, like, shoot for you. But the thing is, there's sort of like a pattern you kind of pick up. You could... Even if you're close to it, it doesn't really mean you'll get hit. So it's not terrible. Okay, we gotta... Yeah. Do not get too close to the bottom as Tiny Mario, because being Super Mario or Fire Mario gives you extra strength to swim up. So, like, what I mean is, there's like a whirlpool or something pulling me down. It's not shown, but it is. You get sucked down. Tiny Mario, you will fall in and lose a life. Big Mario, you're usually good to fight against it and keep going. But yeah, alright, so those swimming levels, there's only 2 in the whole game, and then there's like 1 at the end of the game, but it's not for even an entire level. It's a tiny segment. If you notice, though, we hit 100 coins and we got an extra life. That's why we have 4 lives now, so that's good. This is our first speedrunning level, and people call it speedrunning levels because it's best to just go through as fast as you can. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, don't do what I'm doing now. Alright, but since we stopped already, you got hit, we might as well try to get Super Mario. So, like, I used to play this game a lot when I was in high school. I would, like, somehow I'd be able to blaze through this entire level without stopping, or I knew, like, right where you should stop. I'm not like that anymore. No, you notice I acknowledge that speedrunning it is probably the best way to get through it. But I kept stopping because I kept getting nervous, so... It is like a balance, I guess. Alright, so we're back to our castle level. Let's see if we could get Fire Flower Mario to fight Bowser this time, or his goon, rather. A little safer down here, because we only have to deal with those top fire sticks instead of both layers. You notice there's these blocks here. They look like I already hit them or something to get some coins out, but I wasn't here. And you'll see why later. Okay. Alright, nice, we got it. see if we could keep it for the entire battle. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. If you hit Bowser with enough fireballs, you don't have to dive over him or under him to reach the axe and cut the thing. If you hit him with enough fire flower balls, he'll take off his disguise. Like in this case, he revealed he was a Koopa, a green Koopa, and then he just fell into the lava. I just realized I skipped that fire flower because it won't help us anymore. It might give us extra points, but I don't think points do anything at all in this game. Oh, a bit of Super Mario Brothers lore. I think everybody knows this at this point, but in case you weren't in the know, sometimes sometimes the extra life spawns here. You gotta do something though. I probably didn't do it. Alright, so in Super Mario Brothers lore, these blocks that I'm jumping on right now, those are the inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom transformed into the blocks. And by the inhabitants, I mean those toads, those famous toads of Mario. The ones that we actually saw in the castle earlier that said, but your princess is in another castle. And those guys are the most... these guys right here, the ones I just took out, Hammer Brothers, they're by far the most annoying enemy in the entire game. They just suck to take out. Those hammers are a pain to avoid. God help you if you just fight them out in the open with no fire flower, and you can't like hit them from below from a block. You're never gonna jump on them. It's like a 1 in 100 shot. Like I said, those green Koopas will just walk right off the shelf. Sort of like Luigi would. You can do a 1-up trick here, where in this game you can get 1-ups, extra lives, by jumping on enough enemies in a row. It's pretty hard to get it to happen naturally, but over there where those Koopas were walking down the steps, you could like trap them in a spot where if you keep jumping on them, they'll bounce back right onto you, or right under you. So like if you do it enough times in a row, you get the extra life. And you can do that indefinitely. After a while, it actually glitches out the game. I've never done it I might have done it one time actually, but I know about this just from watching other people do it. I'm not but like I said, I'm not good enough to do it, you know, just because I feel like it. So I'm not gonna bother. I don't need the extra lives anyway. I'm good. Hopefully. Starman makes us invincible. Unlike later games in the series, hitting multiple enemies in a row of Starman don't give you enough extra points to net you an extra life. Like when I say if you jump on enough enemies in a row, you'll get an extra life, as you'll keep accumulating points. You can't touch the ground in the middle. You have to go from enemy to enemy. So even if you have a Starman, since you're touching the ground, it does not count.